Sound is back. Awesome. Welcome, everybody. We've got a couple of solves that have been done. Connie got a 1016 plus 816 plus 2 equals 10, and Michał starts with a 761. A little bit of an introduction about Connie. You got a 4.83 single in the first round, which is the fastest solve of the competition, as well as national record for Germany. And we think that his pressure is, he does okay under pressure. He has mixed results, and that 1016 really shows that mix. He's locking right now, too. But he got a PLL skip, 769.
PLL skip saves the day.
Yep.
Yep, we all love that moment when PLL skip is rescues a bit of the average, the solve. It's always nice. Now, Michał Żywicki obviously got well known through Skew, took a few world records there, and I think he took the crown here today for European champion. But he's also, as you can see by him being in the final, really, really good at 3x3. And he tends to perform pretty well under pressure, so we'll see how he does with the rest of the average.
Good start. Solid.
Yeah, another 7 from him. He seems to do white cross only, turns really fast, few pauses, but...
I swear to God, he cut his hair since the start of this competition. Like, I'm certain that it was longer before.
He did a Ron then.
Connie solves mostly on white, so that's pretty much what you're going to be seeing, unless white is really
I love
bad.
that turning style.
Yeah, his turning style has been described as fluid. And for Felix, we also would call it flavorful and spicy on that 858 that he got.
And yeah, Connie took off his jacket, but Michał hasn't taken it off just yet. It's just warming up, guys.
It's getting hot here.
Yeah. Just wait for the sixes to start coming out, and it'll start heating up for sure. So here's the second pole in this final, and both of them so far have been using GTS 3s as well.
Yeah, just a note about both the polls so far. They're both sponsored by MoU, and so they were able to get GTS 3s a little earlier and be able to set them up, break them in.
Not a good solve.
No, definitely not happy with that one. Loads of lockups, then the drop at the end.
So, it's Connie. Come on, Connie.
He's got a good
Yeah,
solve so
that
far.
looks good. That looks good. That looks good.
717. Not bad. No choking right now for Connie. That 7.6 earlier is counting.
Yep, so Michał only has that one bad solve so far, so hopefully he can just keep that on the back burner. He was in the World's 2017 final last year, so he's definitely had this big final experience before. Fortunately, he didn't perform that well there, though.
He's rolled his sleeves up. He's getting ready.
Very
a little
quick
lucky, but
last
saved
lap.
that,
Yeah. Very impressive last lap.
Pressure's on him right now. But right now, over at Connie, his best average that he can get is a 7.8. 7.81 to be precise.
And his worst average is 881.
So he's got a big wide range, and he can definitely make the best of it, but that is not the best start.
No, judging from the inspection phase, he was not very happy with the scramble either.
He's been locking up PLL at 7.9, 9.1.
Yeah, Connie won't be happy with that, but yeah, he needs to somehow learn to control his nerves during finals.
So Connie's last solve gives him an 8.46 average, putting him square in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, unfortunately, he continues his streak of not doing that well in the finals.
Something happened to the other camera.
So it looks like we've lost
camera.
one of the cameras, so we're just going to be pivoting back and forth. No swish animations for the time being.
A little lucky. Let's save that with the last layer.
Yeah, he's very happy with that average. It's going to be mid-7. Do we know what the average is, Keaton? Average? So that's a 7.55 average from Michał Żywuski there. So yeah, he's going to be very, very happy with that. And that definitely puts him right in the mix for contending for the podium.
Right, and right now that's the first sub-8 average of the final so far. So after 10 competitors, just a single sub-8.
Will that be enough for podium, or maybe even more?
And next, qualifying in 10th position with a 7.99 average from Germany, Sebastian Weyer.
Sebastian is also one of the lowest rated seeds to have a good shot at winning it. He did have two counting 8s in the semifinal, but he's got the ability to go higher.
Qualifying in 9th position with a 7.91 average, also from Germany, Kevin Gerhardt.
All right, 2 Germans coming up. I know them both very well. I was actually in Sebastian's apartment. Sebastian already won 4x4, so maybe that gives them quite some confidence here. I would say Sebastian is quite as good as Philip, but I think in the finals, Philip tends to do better than Philip. Philip tends to do better than Sebastian. Let's see what he can do. He only solves on white. Here he goes. That TPS.
He turns incredibly fast, but inefficiencies do give him an 807. There's just lots of turns that he's doing.
Yeah.
Now, Kevin also has quite a similar turning style to Sebastian. He's quite aggressive, turns really fast. We know he's performed well in finals before. He got his PB average of 6.9 something in the German Nationals final last year, so he definitely has a potential to do really well now.
Very concentrated when he's solving. Ooh.
It's a really good start. That's the best time we've had on the first solve so far, 6.72. And is that the first sub-7 of the finals?
I believe
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, no,
It's insane to think that there's been only one sub-7. The only other one was Dario's +2.
Yeah.
So really, there's not been a true one.
So Basti up for a second. See what he can do. It's normal that you call German people who's called Sebastian. You call him Basti. 640, yeah.
Talking about sub-7.
There we go.
Yep, and just as we start mentioning it, they start flooding in. Kevin definitely looks very, very nervous here, but he has experienced this before. Again, he was in the Worlds final last year, so he definitely knows what it's like to solve under this sort of pressure.
Seems a little shaky. Let's see if he can control those nerves.
Yeah, he winced a bit at the inspection he made.
His
But
turning is very fast. A little locky.
8.36, he's not super happy with that, but not terrible. We know the current leading average is 7.55, so definitely beat it.
So they essentially just swapped the times. One of them got an 8 and the other got a 6, and then they switch. But third solve here for Sebastian. Just as a note, he does not currently own house record, and so if you ever feel bad about not having a state record, well, just think about Sebastian.
Well, actually, they live quite a few hundred kilometers apart nowadays.
Okay.
No, shaking his head, still not happy with that, although a 758 is something I would be happy with.
Right. It is still not below the current average of Michał Żywuski, but it is a good stepping stone.
That's a good standard to compare something to, yeah.
Taking a big breath before he solves. He definitely likes to take a few seconds to compose himself. I know Sebastian likes to go as soon as he can. Doesn't like to think about it too much.
Extremely concentrated.
And almost flawless OLL to PLL transition there, but locks up a bit on that OLL, so only comes away with a 7.99.
Yeah, not a bad result for Kevin. Sebastian's on solve 4 now. He's sort of, this solve is sort of the make or break for him at this point in the average. Like, you can lean one way or the other based on what this is, because not only does this affect his average, but it also affects his mental state for the final solve.
These are the moments where it shows if he's really good or he's really bad.
Yeah, and it looks like he's pretty average.
Well, I guess it's not either, right? It's not really good, it's not really bad.
Right,
Yep, all these guys qualified with like high to mid 7 averages, so we're expecting those sort of solves from pretty much all of them.
Just as a note, Sebastian needs is 7.12 or better to get for his last solve.
Is that to take the lead?
That's the tie.
To tie, okay. But he does have the 6.4,
He has the better single.
which is the better single.
Same old out.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. He seems to, his efficiency is there and his look ahead is definitely there, but locking up a lot, and that's down to the shaky hands that they all have.
So 7.12, you said?
712 is what he does need to tie. He would need 713. No, 710. That's how you do math. 710 to have it outright. Kevin Gerhardt is no longer in the running. And boy, did he get it!
Wow!
654.
Wow! 6.54. There we go.
Puts him in the lead with the 736 average.
So moving back to Kevin now, and once again, it's important to stay hydrated, guys. Make sure you drink plenty of water.
Especially when you sweat so much on hot days like this.
Yeah.
All right, so drink plenty of water, or water, depending on where you're from in this world.
Water.
It's very impressive.
Sebastian got a 736 average.
And he's on to last layer at 4.4.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh, wow.
Very nice.
Counting 6.
Yeah. So it's not going to be quite good enough to overtake Sebastian, but it's still a really good average. So 772 average puts Kevin in 3rd place for now.
Kevin Gerhardt finished with a 772 average. Puts him in 3rd place.
And now, qualifying in 8th place with an average of 786 from Denmark, Martin Vejle Edler.
It's a little hard to say some of these Danish names, but Martin ended up getting a 6.7 average in the 2nd round, which is national record in, I believe, top 15 in the world. So,
And qualifying in 7th place from the United States with an average of 778, Daniel Rose Levine.
had a cheer for the only countryman of mine in the finals.
Do you remember what the other people got? Because they're not tracking.
Although in the U.S. it's not necessarily the same type of thing.
Sebastian got 736. I know that much. He's in the lead. Indeed, it is James Malloy announcing.
Up first is Martin. He's #1 overall in sum of ranks, and so 3x3 is not only the event that he is good at, and we've been informed that he has very good averages in competition than compared to what he gets at home. Whoa! Wow! And right there, talking about overperforming, PLL skip 630.
Yeah, getting lucky is not a crime.
Eric's key phrase there. From the days of the .96.
Catchphrase.
Yeah. Now we've got Daniel Rose Levine's last solve. Maybe you can give some insight on him.
No, I'm just gonna chant USA.
Yeah.
Keaton, you ready? USA. We'll see how he does. Not bad. Good start.
Yeah, 681. We're getting to the point where sub sevens are commonplace now.
Yeah.
We're starting to ramp up the action right here with 2 6s starting off for both competitors. Just a note about Martin Egdahl is that he's not a lone wolf. He's got a brother, Daniel Egdahl, who's also very good at quite a few events, and so that might be one of the reasons why he practices so much, just because of that motivation of having a brother doing this. He's got good transitions to start. He did orange, so he might
Looks
be called neutral.
very good.
Looks
No.
solid, but
No,
he messed
no,
up that
no.
Z turn. And
Those were way too many M moves to solve that
That's
PLO.
No, stay with it. We don't know if it's +2.
Daniel didn't even bring his jacket out.
Are you feeling nervous for Daniel?
No.
I mean, it is quite hot in here. It's what, 35 degrees, and there's like 1,000 people in this building watching right now.
I mean, you can't get the chills.
That is true.
Very easy to get the chills.
But how can you get the chills when you're so confident as Daniel?
Ooh. Not the greatest time.
No, even with the ZBLL in there, gets a 10.47. So he'll be looking to improve on that going forward.
Maybe he should get the jacket because he's cooled off a little.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we need to spice things up in here a bit more.
Martin on solve 3 right now.
His souls look really good, except for that last PLO. So let's see if he can continue that streak.
Solid transition. He did orange again, so I'm not sure if he's... Oh, wow. Wait, never mind. I thought he was on Ola. 859.
His starts are so solid. He starts off really, really well, but he seems to be losing it on last lap. 8.39 or something?
What?
What was the time? 8:59. Do you have any interesting facts about Daniel Rose Levine, Dana?
He's very good at feet, as we saw. He broke the world record average in the first round.
Indeed, yeah, he
Yes.
did. 22.22, but counting 19, I think it had.
That's amazing. Oh, is that a 997?
No, I think that was fine, but I'm not sure what happened with the timer.
It took about 1 second to do a U move. I think that was a 997.
Martin looks a bit confused.
998.
998.
Bit of a delayed.
Focusing on
applause
his
there.
opponent instead of his own solve.
I mean, that can sometimes be a little therapeutic, just watching someone else solve and, like, trying to go through it together, especially if it's your first time up in one of these things.
I guess it's really personal. Like, for me, I would rather not know what my opponent is doing.
No, it's color neutral.
861.
You can really see that he has the skill, but at the end, it's just the slight lockups that cost him the good solve.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, Daniel with a counting 9.9, so he's certainly out of the running here, but let's see if he can get some good singles. He does have that 6.81 after all, so he's definitely capable of getting some really good times.
Oh, very lucky on PLO.
Completely puts Daniel out of the running. His min average now is just 862.
So Martin can still get a solid sub 8 average there. Best is 774.
Yeah.
But he's got to beat that 6 for that.
And the thing is, even if he does beat it, that still doesn't get him to third place. And so he's out of the running, but he can still have a good showing with this last solve.
I'm sure he doesn't know that, though.
Yeah.
Left to right.
So, in reality, pressure's off, but Just look at his F12. He just doesn't stop turning.
That's amazing.
It's unbelievable. He
amazing.
just doesn't stop turning for a solid 4 seconds.
And just in case you're wondering, the judge is touching the cube, so just check every side to just make sure it's solved. It is part of the judging ritual etiquette at the end of the solve that you should check every side just to double check that it's solved. So he's doing the right thing.
Right. In addition, if he's doing this, that means he's given the okay that the solve is good.
And just as we were saying, he has the opportunity to get a really good solve. He pulls out a 5.38. This is US Nationals Pravin Ravindra flashbacks right now.
Oh my god.
8.61 average. Didn't quite save the average, but a very good single.
And up next, qualifying in 6th place with a 7.74 average from Greece, Anthony Patarakis.
He's fresh off of his 2x2 national record. It says he's from Greece, but he is from the Netherlands.
Yeah, he lives in the Netherlands, although he is proper Greece. He just chose to represent Greece.
And qualifying in 5th place with a 7.72 average from Switzerland, Richard Delacoste.
Very loud cheering to the right of us. Very interesting fact about Anthony, he actually chose not to compete in the 4x4 and 5x5 finals, so he could focus entirely on the 2x2 and 3x3 finals. For 2x2 that seems to be working really well for him because he won. Let's see if he can make it to the top in 3x3 as well.
He's best well known for that 4.76 single that he had a little while ago, which was one of the best solves in the world at the time. So see if you can reproduce some of the
Solid
success
start. Yeah.
J-turn. It looks good.
Yeah, that's good.
7:32 to start things off.
That's nice.
Now, Richard Delacoste does not have any experience in these major finals. He's from the French-speaking part of Switzerland and performs really well at 3x3. He came second in the first round, so we definitely know he has the potential to get a low 7 average.
Oh. A little lucky on F2L, but...
See, one of the problems with the displays of these competitions is that they have some paper on the back of them hiding the back time. So the judge and the competitor have no idea that the display is on or off.
The paper got removed at the finals. The paper got removed at the finals.
Oh, huh. Well, thanks for the info. Antony unsolved 2 right now.
Looks like there's a little bit of a connection issue on the other timer, so they're just trying to fix that at the moment. They're aware of the issue.
Antony is
Some lockups, and yeah.
He's one of the only polyneutral solvers in this final, and so he's going to be able to take advantage of things. Antoine did orange on that, and so did Antony. So Anthony.
Anthony.
Sorry.
And Richard looks pretty composed right now. Doesn't look super nervous, but you'll notice as well he's a lefty turner, just like Rob Yao and Daniel Wanamaker. I think some other famous lefties. And Oscar Roth Anderson as well as a lefty.
Very high TPS starting out. Ooh.
Bit of a lock up on that wide pump, but 7.83 is nothing to be sniffed at. He's had a really solid start here for the final.
He's got one of the most consistent starts of this final so far.
Consistent.
Antony, on the other hand, starting with a 7, going to 8. Not bad results, but definitely needs a little bit more to sort of take it to
Not
that
happy with
podium.
this.
He doesn't look like he likes the salt.
Yeah, there's been a few people shaking their head at this this scramble.
That's also one of the things if you're color neutral. If you don't find a good cross, I mean, there's no time in the end to
Right.
to see what's your first pair because you just took so much time to find the best cross.
Right.
Richard, yeah, still looking composed, doing some TPS under the table, wants to clear up those lockups that he's had on his last layer, because yeah, he's been turning really smoothly in F2L, so hopefully he can keep this up and keep working his average down.
Just a little pause.
Shake of the head there, yeah, not too pleased with that. Not sure what happened after the first couple of pairs there, but he seemed to have quite a big pause.
Going off on that last point that Eric was talking about, as a color neutral solver myself, it's really important to be able to just find any cross, and then from there I can start looking deep into the pairs. But if I find nothing, like the solve is guaranteed to be bad, it's harder for me to just sort of optimize crosses. Anthony, though, with a 763 on that,
Solid.
I think he might have given himself an E-firm there, but
Yep, he, I don't know if you noticed, but he actually did a Z2 to align himself with that EPO, which is not what you want to do, because you could have just done it from that first angle in the first place.
right, and like having the fact that it was a 763 just makes it just harder to swallow that, you know, you gave yourself an E-perm and then did a Z2.
Is it possible to tell which cube they use? Somebody asked. Unfortunately not. We can kind of tell when some cubes are being used, but you can kind of tell from the shape. I think Richard Delacoste uses a GAN cube, so I'm pretty sure he uses GAN RSM. But yeah, sometimes it's really hard to tell if people have their own stickers on the cubes or if the like logo's worn off on the stickerless puzzle. It's really hard to tell these days with all cubes being quite similar.
Hola. Didn't have any times.
They said they were going to track the other half and they lied, so we started doing I know your average.
Esta es
Wow.
muy bien.
This is a really smooth solve, but was that an N-perm?
Yep.
Yep. The dreaded N-perm, nobody likes them. If you like them, reevaluate your PLL opinions.
He took quite a while to recognize that as well, as if he doesn't want to believe that it was actually an M-perm.
But he did get an 8 flat, so
Yeah, it's always a
too
little
bad.
unfortunate to get N-perms in these finals. They're just so unlikely in this situation.
1 in 72 for each M-perm, right?
Yeah. It might have been the G. I did see him do D moves, so.
Really nice too.
Anthony got a good solve.
and he's very happy with that.
That gives him a 781 average.
Sub 7. Or sub 8.
I got a nice panorama over to Richard.
Wait, it's not. We've got a 7.36.
So looks like this last scramble is quite good. We've got a lot of good times. We've got 2 5s and some 6s coming out as well. Yeah, so lots of good stuff on this last scramble. He's giving himself a lot of inspection time here. Yeah, use what you got, exactly.
I think seeing that 5 got a little, gave him some nerves.
Yeah, definitely.
Was that a 2-gen Z perm that I just saw?
Indeed it was. A lot of people do like to use it. People like Jaden McNeil have been using it.
There are also quite some people that prefer the RU one, like the Wires. They both use the RU one as well.
Interesting.
All right.
And now, qualifying in 4th place with a 763 average from Poland, Michał Plaskowicz.
Michał is very used to this. He is not new to this scene at all. Winning Worlds 2011 is his main accomplishment.
And qualifying in third place with a 7:54 average from the Netherlands, Mats Volk.
Yeah, Mats. Go.
I don't even know if Mats needs an introduction for this one. World champion runner-up, two competitions in a row. Former world record holder with 5:55 and with 4:74. He has a resume that just is very expensive.
Yep, he really is the one who dropped the 4x4 world record down a lot, popularizing Yao, crushing that 35 that Felix had to get down to 33.
Yeah, but he also got that 26.77 single with the first sub 30.
Michal on his first solve. Look at that turning style. That's delicious. But unfortunately, he messed up a little bit. 802.
You know what else is delicious? That mustache.
Oh, yes. James, do you want to grow one yourself?
No.
Mats is just looks like he's just spamming TPS to practice.
Yep, in previous finals he's worn ear defenders to drown out as much noise as possible, but he doesn't seem to be doing that anymore.
Mats is a green-blue crossover, so we'll be seeing those. Ooh.
Really smooth.
Very
TPS.
nice.
Yeah, lovely six there. He'll make use of that VLS a lot.
Fun fact about Michal Pleskovic is that he was the very first person to beat Felix in a single round of 3x3. He won Worlds 2011. Ro Hessler got second place, and Felix ended up in third. So he's very experienced with this pressure, and he knows how to perform in these incredible high-pressure situations, assuming that he doesn't mess up, which for him is a 9.11.
His turning style looks so nice. I have no other words to say about it.
It's flavorful and
Beautiful.
spicy.
It's beautiful.
Spicy. Spicy. Spicy.
So you can see Mats is
Trying to
very
calm
nervous.
down.
Yeah, taking
Yeah.
a long, deep breath there.
Mats hasn't been doing well in finals recently. He did not perform as well as he wanted in 2017, and so I feel like there might be something to prove here.
A little slow in the solve.
Yeah. Saves it a little bit with the ZBLL, but yeah, a bit slow there, quite locky. Hopefully he can start turning smoothly like he did in that first solve.
All right, let's see if Michal can do a little bit better than his previous two solves.
The average to beat right now is 7:36 for first place. Michal's going to have a little bit of trouble. And wow, he just didn't stop turning throughout that entire solve.
Still looked very unhappy with it somehow.
Right.
One day I would like to be disappointed with sevens.
Will that day ever come, James?
I don't think so.
Oh, man.
Perhaps.
James got other qualities.
ZBLL, yes, I am pronouncing the letter Z as it should.
Z.
Come on, Mats, come on. Time to shine.
Mats does not look happy with this scramble.
Eric.
No,
is
he's been going back
also
and forth
a
Dutchman.
between blue and green.
if you didn't notice. That does not look like a good start to result.
Oh, yeah. No.
Not pleased with that at all, but as we could see, he wasn't happy with inspection, so hopefully he can get a couple of really nice times to finish off. Yellow.
Michal's using a lot of inspection right now.
Yeah, why not? I mean, just use it. Maybe you can spot another pair, track something else.
Not bad, 768. He's completely out of the running for podium, but he can still have a decent showing and a respectable average.
The best is going to be like a 7-8 average, which is not in podium contention.
Mats is a counting 8-3 right now. That's a little painful.
That's really rough, but he does have that 6-8, so if he gets two more really good times coming up, then he can be right back in the running.
Right.
We've seen Mats do really well under pressure. We'll see if he can do that right now.
Solid so far.
All right.
There we
Yes.
go.
Speaking about doing well under pressure, he gets a nice low 6 there. That's 633.
What's his best watch?
If he can get that signal.
His best, his min average is 719, which means he still has a shot at it, but that needs both of those solves to be counting.
And Michal's best average is 785. Let's see what he can do.
Or maybe it's like easy
Oh, yeah, no, that's it.
What?
All she wrote for Mihao. 917, so he ends with his worst possible average
Which is,
of 832.
thank you.
This average could go either way for Mats because he has an 8 and a 6. 2 8s and 2 6s, actually.
Yeah. So if he gets his best time now, he gets a 7.19 average, which definitely puts him in the lead. So I think he needs around a 6.6 or.
He needs about a 6.8 to be able to tie it.
Yeah.
This will be a good time for a PLL skip.
Off of VLS.
Oh yeah, that too.
Damn GoPro out of the way.
Goodbye, GoPro. It was nice knowing you.
Solid so far.
Oh, he got
He's
it!
gone into first
Hey,
place.
that's it.
Mats Falk is moving to first place at the European Championship.
And that guarantees him a podium position.
7.24 average.
724 average.
That puts him first.
Yes. And that puts him guaranteed to podium at this competition, regardless of what Alexander and Philip do.
This is definitely.
The counting 8 hurts, though. He could have sealed it away with a decent second or third solve.
And now, qualifying in second place with an average of 7.49 from Germany, Philipp Weyer.
The crowd seems to be sick of Germans after their 5th one being.
Well, you
brought
know,
up.
I disagree because, Philip is really a nice guy.
Yeah. I mean, I love Philippe. Like, talking about this competition has been fantastic, but I guess
And-
the crowd of Spaniards and Frenchmen don't necessarily like to see him win, especially with his opponent.
And now, qualifying in first place with a 7.05 average from France, Alexandre Callier.
Lots of French fans here.
Right.
So Philip is my favorite, and he's your favorite as well.
Right. We believe that he's got the speed and the consistency, as well as the experience in these finals to be able to pull this off.
So he's really just a white cross solver, but that does not mean that he cannot inspect very far into F2L. He can sometimes inspect up to 2 pairs in inspection. And he starts off with a 694. Yep.
Very solid start.
Alex looking very calm. Alexandre.
Yeah, he's very experienced with this position here in the major championship final.
He made Worlds Finals last year.
And he performed really well as
Yes.
well. Unfortunately, he didn't podium, but still did really well.
It's a very controlled, smooth turning style.
Yeah. And 7.17 is exactly what you want to start with if you want to beat that 7.24 average that's currently sitting in first.
Quite similar times here. It's really down to the consistency here.
Who is that?
If you're just joining us, we've got the last 2 competitors right now.
Oh yeah, because it's like.
On their second solos, we have Philippe.
Philip.
Sorry.
Philip.
Just turning incredibly well.
Oh,
Locking up a
lock
little,
up
but he's
there.
going to be getting
No.
low 8 with an 8.26.
That's going to make it really hard. Well, not really hard, but harder. He can't rely on getting one bad time now. That's out the way. So let's see what Alexander can do. His PB singles 5.19, which he did get in the French Championship final only a few months ago.
I think he has quite a few 5s. He has very good turning.
Yep, and he's a white-yellow solver as well, so...
A little locky. Very locky. Very locky.
That looked like one of my solves.
Also, hopefully bad solve out of the way.
Yeah, we've seen quite a lot of people not doing that well on the second one. Let's see what Philip can do on the third.
Yeah, the only person to get a 6 on the second scramble is sitting right behind us, Sebastian Valle. Philip just non-stop turning.
Wow.
Another 692.
That's like one algorithm for last layer.
Right. It's so fluid.
Yep, and that's made that 694 count. So we might get that sub 7 average in the final. Alexander can still obviously do it as well, but it's going to be a difficult ask. Again, taking a long time for inspection. You've got the time, why not use it?
With a peel, that's good.
Yeah, getting lucky is not a crime.
How is that the second PLL skip or the third already?
I think it's the second one that we see. I think we had Dario get one as well. Oh, but Martin had one, so there have been some at this point.
Right, so we beat the statistics already.
Right, you beat your 1.4 that you stated. Just a note on that last one. Philip doesn't know any ZBLL apart from just your basic COLL, and so all of that was 2 hours.
Oh.
757 on that one.
That looked way worse than it actually was.
Right. That regrip on that F prime is not very good.
Yep, and it puts him in a really tricky position now. I think he needs around a 7.2 to put himself in that first position. And now let's see what Alexander can do, continuing on from that 6.64 he just got. He knows he got rescued a little bit from that PLL skip, so... And that's not going to be good enough for now. I don't know if it's possible for him to take the lead, although that 6.64 is very low, but I don't think he can take the lead.
So we're on the last solve for Philip right now. He needs a 720 to win it outright, a 722 to tie with Mats. So he's got a real challenge ahead of him.
He's taking a big breath there. He's very nervous, and he's already seen that it's...
Doesn't look very happy there.
Yeah.
The crowd's getting a little...
angsty.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been doing a lot of D moves.
D moves there. And then an N firm.
Oh, he missed it! Just missed it! Slated in the second place right now. Third place, 0.01 behind Sebastian. He got...
What's Alexander's best?
Alexander's best is 751, which means our podium is locked in. Just for the audience out there, we have had reports that yellow on this scramble is incredible, and because this is the last solve, we can talk a little bit about it, because Alexander can knows. And since yellow was good, he did it. He got a 715.
He confirms it.
And so that's a wrap. That is 3x3 finals here at Euros. We had the results lively updated for us on an Excel sheet. And so in third place with a 7.37 average, we have from Germany, Philipp Weyer. 736, we've got Sebastian Weyer. And finally, for first place from the Netherlands, we have Mats Valk with his first European Championship win. Fantastic results for him. We're going to be going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with rewards very soon. Thank you guys for watching.